We're coming up to a bit of a different marina. These are the Las Olas City docks, starting with this first yacht here on the right side. They pay quite a bit less than people pay out at the Bahia Mar. The second yacht we're going to see on this dock is an old classic burger yacht, white yacht with a black stripe down the side. When we get up there, you're going to be able to see that that yacht's called the Bottom Line. Wasn't always called that, though. It was once called the Evil Eye. And when it had that name, it had an owner by the same name, Evel Knievel. He used to own this yacht right here on the right side, Bottom Line. Now, when you're going up the river here, occasionally you'll encounter bridges. For the most part, if you're a big boat, the bridge will open up and let you under. But not Evil. He used to jump that yacht right over all the bridges. And that's what they tell me, anyway.
Black Wally.
Over here on the right side, got this pool and restaurant. Restaurant there's the Boathouse, booked solid nearly every single night. Now, that's all part of the Riverside Hotel. Oldest hotel here in Fort Lauderdale. When we get up past the restaurant, if you look through the trees there, you see an old style building with flags hanging off the side. It's the original structure from the hotel, built back in the 1930s. Now, when they opened that place up, they had an opening ceremony, and they had a little-known actor at the time come here and cut the ribbon at that ceremony. His name was Ronald Reagan. And that's from the oldest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. We have the oldest house here in Fort Lauderdale, oldest building anywhere, actually, here on the right side. Small white house with the green trim. That's a Stranahan house, built back in 1901 by some of our city's earliest residents, Frank and Ivy Stranahan. She was a cool school teacher, used to conduct her classes in that house there as well. Now, from the oldest building in Fort Lauderdale, we have the newest building in Fort Lauderdale right next to it. Building with the fountains there, that's the Icon Tower. Tallest residential building anywhere between Miami and Atlanta. But it won't have that title for too much longer. They're about halfway finished with construction on another building about 3 blocks from here called 100 Las Olas. It's going to be just a couple stories taller than that one. They will take over bragging rights for the tallest building anywhere around. Now, this entire section of the river here is called Condo Canyon. If you guys were out here 20 or 25 years ago, you probably wouldn't have been hanging out here on the river in downtown. There wasn't a lot to draw people down here. There's a lot of shipyards and warehouses. Not a lot of people spent time down here. But at some point here, they underwent a building initiative. They were trying to get people that work in downtown to come down here and live as well. And in the process, have created a real estate market desired by people from all over the world. People from everywhere come out here to buy a condo here in Fort Lauderdale. And there are condos for everybody. Prices here range from about $250,000 up to about $6 million. Now, of course, $250,000 is going to get you about a 500 square foot place on the second floor looking at the dumpster, right? $6 million, probably about a 5,000 square foot spot up on one of the upper floors with a view all the way to Miami. Now, we're going to be coming up to our first drawbridge here, 3rd Avenue Bridge. See him in the air for us. Over on the right side, right on the other side of that FedEx truck, there's a sign there. You can't see it right now, but it says Water Garden, and they have that large metallic structure on top. Anybody have an idea what that metallic structure is? Any guesses? Solar panel? That's a good one. I've heard golf clubs. I've heard dragonflies. Turns out what that actually is over there is art. And nobody really knows what it's supposed to be. At least I don't, anyway. So coming through the 3rd Avenue Bridge, you're going to be able to see the bridge tender coming up here on the right side, on the far side of the fender system. When we get up there, he might come out and wave to you guys, give him a wave back. We're also very friendly with our bridge tenders here in downtown. After all, we need these guys to open the bridge up when it's time to go back home later on. So we like to keep in their good graces for the most part, so if you see them, give them a wave. Now, as I mentioned, most of these buildings here in downtown are condominiums. Not all of them, though. There's a couple of apartment buildings. There's also a few hotels. I showed you guys the oldest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. Now I'm going to take a second and show you guys the busiest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be coming up over here on the left side. This place is booked solid nearly every single night. As a matter of fact, they allowed 1,400 people to stay there last night completely free of charge. If you check in over there before 5 o'clock, they even feed you for free. They have a bar in every room and a phone in every room. That's the Broward County Jail over there on the left side. Now, that's the only jail I know of that you can check into and keep an eye on your yacht at the same time. I got a classic trawler-style yacht here on the left, Wanderbird. Pretty unique yacht. Good photo opportunity for you guys. You don't see too many built in that shape and that style. I showed you guys a lot of firsts here in the river. I showed you the first hotel, first house. I'm going to have a chance to show you guys the first restaurant as well. It's going to be coming up here on the left side. When we get up past this last sailboat on the dock, you're going to see a building with a yellow sign up there called the Downtowner Saloon. It was built back in 1926. Now, back in those days, we were in a time here in the United States called Prohibition. Alcohol, sales, consumption, everything to do with alcohol was illegal here in the United States, if you can believe that now. But there were secret places where you could go knock on a back door, go into a room, and do some illegal drinking and gambling. Downtowner was one such place over there on the left. If you look about halfway down the side of the building, you'll see a red sign there that says the Maxwell Room. That's where you would go back and knock on that door. They still rent the Maxwell Room out for private events, things like that.